Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Berean TV. I was just looking at the Israelites. I'm not sure if a lot of people know who the Israelites are, but for those of y'all that do, they're a bunch of brothers that teach the Bible. They teach the Bible, and they believe that the black man are the original Israelites, and this is what they teach, and they teach it from scriptures. But I got some questions for the Israelites. It's hard to talk to them when they're in the street because they're out there preaching, they're propagating. So they'll say, "Well, do you have a question?" And you'll ask something, and they may just read one verse of scripture. But it's a problem when you read one verse of scripture. This first video is just some questions for the Israelites, and then I'll get back to scripture and biblical interpretation, because I asked one Israelite, well, how do you come to the doctrine that you come, or to the teachings that you come? He said, the Spirit of the Most High, and I bear witness with that. I have no problem with that. But outside of the Spirit of the Most High, you have to have methods of biblical interpretation. Because I go to one Israelite camp, I talk to them on the block on Flatbush. I see them in the A, I see them in Virginia, I see them in Richmond, they're in Florida, they're all over the place. And there's so many different camps, and they have different doctrines. Now, a lot of times they want to often jump on a church talking about different denominations, but if I'm charismatic, if I'm Pentecostal, if I'm apostolic, if I'm from the Methodist church, AME church, if I'm Kojic, it doesn't make a difference. The majority of everything we believe is the same. But these guys got some real big differences on Christ, the Messiahship of Christ, who he is. Is Paul an authentic prophet? Or an apostle of God? Is Paul not an authentic prophet? So they got a whole bunch of different doctrines. So I asked them, how do you come about this? They say they come about it by the power of the Most High. I'm saying you have to have more than something. You have to have more than that. You have to have some principles of interpretation. So in my other videos, I'm going to talk about in principles of interpretation, what we call hermeneutics. I asked Israelites, do y'all know what that word is? Do you know what hermeneutics is? Do y'all know what exegete is? They just grab one verse and they read one verse and they close the Bible up. So I can't really get to ask them questions, and we can't really build. So I got some questions for some Israelites. Got questions. That's the name of this little segment I'm doing right here. The first question is, before Abraham, who was the first Hebrew, the first black Hebrew from Ur the Chaldees that y'all teach, that a lot of people believe, before Abraham, were there any righteous people? Were there any righteous people? If so, what made them righteous? Enoch, for instance. Was Enoch righteous? Was Melchizedek righteous? Was Noah righteous? None of them were Hebrew Israelites, but they were righteous people. Was the Most High God, prior to Abraham, was the Most High God speaking to anybody else? I see a lot of times y'all get on with polite and the Egyptologists and this and that because they bring out principles of Ma'at, principles of rightful living. Now, I'm not gonna even get into that other stuff because that's for the next video. But I'm just asking that to the Israelites. Prior to Abraham, who was considered righteous and what made him righteous? The second question is, what's the difference between an Israelite, a Hebrew, a Jew, a God-fearer, and a proselyte according to the King James Bible? What is the difference between a Hebrew, a Jew, an Israelite, a proselyte, and a God-fearer according to the King James Bible? So those are two questions. I got two more here. The other one is that chart, the chart that the Israelites deal with. And the different tribes and how the American Negroes, we are the tribe of Judah. How do y'all come about with the chart? Not even how y'all come about with the chart. The main question is, how did the Europeans know, Sir John Hawkins, those that were bringing us over, how do the Europeans know to get from Sierra Leone or whatever part of Africa various Israelites say that we come from? How did the white man know to bring all of the tribe of Judah to America, to Virginia, and to the South, and put them on the plantation? How do he know to take the tribe of Levi and just drop them specifically in Haiti? How did he know to take the tribe of Benjamin and make those the West and drop and leave them in the sugar plantations in Jamaica? How did he know to chop them up like that? And do y'all have some scholarly works y'all can quote on that? A lot of times y'all just say stuff, and as believers, we just not grabbing anything like that. Mystical or not, believer, Baptist, Israelite, whatever it is, we got to follow some stuff that's based on facts. Let me get on the other two things now. What I already did, but that's enough right there. That's enough right there for the video. And I'm going to drop another video with Israelites answer those couple of questions. Before Abraham, was anybody righteous? And then I'm going to get into St. Augustine and the African bishops and scholars and what they were talking about, various philosophers on that subject. I'm going to drop one thing on y'all. When it comes down to it, religion is dangerous. Religion is dangerous. So when the Israelites, when other people say that, I have no problem with that whatsoever. Machiavelli said that religion was man-made, and I agree with that 100%. Spirituality can exist without religion, but religion cannot exist without spirituality. Got questions? That's addressed to the Hebrew Israelites. I'm going to get with y'all. We're going to talk about some other stuff, but y'all answer those questions, and I'll get back with y'all. Thank you.